Alright guys, now I'm going to get into the rules for the native tribes. They are different. All three tribes have the same rule set, but their rules are different from the normal nations of the Union and Confederacy. So, each tribe takes a turn individually from each other, and they have their own turn phases. So each tribe, they are allowed to capture, victory point territories, things like that, and those points just go to the side they're aligned with. The natives are not allowed to do anything until they are aligned, so they're just going to sit here until someone rolls and they join a side. And then that side, whoever's the player of that side will take their turn. So they're just kind of stagnant and sit there as long as no one gets them to join them. But after they join a side, they're able to build units, move units, attack, all that stuff. That's just done a little bit differently. So the North and South, they're not allowed to build facilities on Indian territory. So all these cannot have any kind of facilities except for railway. They are allowed to build railroads on these territories after they align with them. If the natives come over here, say they capture this territory and they get this resource factory and railroad station, well, it stays there, but it's unusable. No one gets to use it. Not even the side that they're aligned with, because it's native controlled. With the exception, again, of railroad. Alright, so let's get into the turn phases. So the first phase is the Gathering Warriors phase. That's, again, kind of just like the building new units. It just works a little different. Each territory controlled by the tribe gives you 1 land point. So for example, the Oklahoma territory here would get 3 land points because they control 3 territories. You use those land points to build new units. You have 2 units you can build. You have the war party, which is like your basic infantry unit, and then you have your mounted warriors, which are a hybrid of the cavalry and the raider. It's basically both in one. So they can do both things. So they're more expensive. So the war party are 2 land points, and the mounted warrior is 3. So they're going to build 1 mounted warrior since they have 3 land points. Land points do not carry over. It's like manpower. It does not carry over to the next turn. It has to be used that turn or it is lost. All right. And so after you get that unit, it is immediately placed. And they can place it really wherever they want. They can mobilize up to 3 new units in original territory, and they can build up to 1 unit in controlled territories. Like if they owned Waco, they could build him, 1 guy here. They can build up to 3 in the original territories, which they don't have any occupied land, and so they're just going to keep it up here, place them there. So then you have the combat maneuvers. Works very similar. Combat's the same, things like that. The only thing is, each tribe is restricted to 1 attack per turn. So you're only allowed to attack 1 territory of your enemies. Just 1. You can't do a bunch, just 1. They will last as many rounds as it takes. There is no 2-round limit. It doesn't cost them land points or provisions or anything like that because they don't have any. They just have land points. And land points are just used for building units. So their attacks are free, but they're limited to 1 attack. They can bring in as many as they want, as many units as they want, and all that, just as long as it's 1 attack. Now, there are exceptions to that 1 attack rule. If they walk into a territory that has no units, that does not count. That's a freebie, they can take it, and they can still attack another territory. That does not count. It has to be something with combat and units dying and things. But if they move in here with these units here, that counts as an attack. And though Waco might not be worth anything to the Confederacy because there's no resources you can get there or anything like that. It is worth something to the natives because, again, every territory generates land points. So if they capture this, that gives them an extra point to put toward building units. The other exception to the one attack rule is raids. Raids do not count as an attack. I mean, it is, but it's not like a normal combat. So they can run this guy in here and do a raid. I don't know, we'll just put him here in Little Rock. He can do a raid there, and they can still attack another territory. And again, these guys can go in and do raids, or they can move in a normal attack as a cavalry unit would. They can do both. After their raids and combat, you do your reposition maneuvers. So you just reorganize everybody, clean up everything, and then that's the end of their turn. So their turns are very simple, very straightforward, though they are a little bit different from the other regular nations. So that is how they work.